Hi, my name is Brian Pack.
And I'm Nicole Barlow.
And this is Soundtrack Your Life, where we speak with the guests about a soundtrack that is important to them. But if you listened to our last episode on The Sims, we are going to soundtrack a movie that is in development. So it's kind of a change up. So for our 100th episode, we did The Sims, and if you listen to that episode, you'll know that we had to choose between The Sims and Monopoly, which are two movie ideas or movie concepts that Margot Robbie's Lucky Chap Productions has signed on to develop. We decided to do The Sims, but we had so much fun with The Sims that we decided why not do both concepts, and today we're going to do Monopoly. So today we are bringing back Scott Interrante.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And Scott, of course, is host of This Is the Greatest Song I've Ever Heard in My Entire Life.
Yes.
And we're big fans of Scott. And we have our favorite Substacker returning, Tara Giancaspro.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me again.
We are so glad you're both back, and we're actually very excited to be doing Monopoly today.
So excited. I don't feel safe doing this without Tara and Scott. I really don't.
Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah, I did kind of a brow wipe before. I was like, oh, it's good with Tara. It's going to be fine. We're okay.
You woke up in cold sweats this morning, and you're like, oh, good. Tara and Scott are coming.
It'll be something, you know. I'm still just curious to know if these movies will ever actually get made, you know?
Right.
I hope so. I hope they use our soundtrack. So Margot's listening.
To use our soundtrack. More really, I would love for them to use our plot line, and I leave it to Alexandra Patsavas, who I think we would have to demand be the music supervisor on these films, and really leave it to her with our gentle encouragement and gentle curation of song selections.
I think Margot would be amenable to that. You know, why not have a banger of a soundtrack to go with your movies?
Oh, absolutely. And a woman in song leadership, which I know is very important to the Lucky Chap team. Also, congrats to Margot. It was announced today that she's expecting a baby.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
Yeah, with her husband, Tom Ackerley, who also works for Lucky Chap. So congratulations to the Lucky Chap baby. Hire us.
Yay. Hire us.
Let us take a load off.
Yeah.
And develop these movies for you.
Yeah. Also, while you're on leave, Margot, may I suggest a podcast for you?
Yes. Catch up on prior episodes.
Maybe just, go through these.
And then you can go through all of Scott's episodes as well.
Yeah. So many podcasts. Ryan, I'm sure that you have this queued up, but I'm just looking now at the, sort of Wikipedia section on this for Monopoly, and this film goes way back. Originally it was going to be directed by Ridley Scott in 2008 and then that fell apart and the rights went back to Hasbro, and then they announced another version in 2012 and then another version in 2015. 2019 they were working on it, and then finally this year at CinemaCon they announced that Lucky Chap got it. So
yeah, it's kind of like the Crow reboot.
Yeah. It's been floating around a very long time. I don't know,
I need to see Ridley Scott's Monopoly. That
truly.
I'm open to that being our director. I had an idea for director, but I'm very open to a Ridley Scott Monopoly. So listen, cue it up.
Yeah.
Well, with that said, yeah, I really want to hear, because now we've had time to think about it. I don't know if that's good or bad. I feel like I've talked myself out of some things for Monopoly, but now that we've had time to think about it, because we did not do this and we did The Sims, I really want to hear some plot pitches. Like, what is Monopoly about? What's the approach to changing this from a board game to a feature film?
Well, let's rewind. I did in the last episode pitch a Noah Baumbach real estate movie, which was unanimously given the thumbs down. So we're not doing that.
I shot it down with a fury and a vengeance.
Yeah, very colorful way to shoot it down.
It was rough. I did have an idea, if I can command the floor for a moment. Yesterday, I saw I think the guy's name is Michael Rubin, but he's some kind of like money magnet of some kind.
Are we talking about the white party?
Yes. And the tweet said, not a single person at this party looks like they're having fun. And that feels accurate because it's all, it's all networking. It's all, Camila Cabello and Drake like hard launching their relationship. It's who's exchanging business cards or like NFT fucking business cards, like whatever they're doing now. And nobody looked like they were like really enjoying themselves. It looked like, okay, I got to go to this thing. And like everyone's checking their watches. Like, okay, when is it 10:53? So I can start rolling out. And my idea was like a Jesse Armstrong written, Mark Mylod directed story of Mr. Monopoly, like zooted on his own petard at his Monopoly white party, and like people are plotting behind him and he really feels lonely there. And yes, basically this is the Kendall's birthday party episode of Succession, but like this was my idea. And also we all want more Succession. Suckhive is strong. But maybe not Jeremy Strong. Jeremy Strong has done this, and I know he would like to move on to richer things.
Yeah, but no pun. But like, right. I don't think we can have Jeremy Strong go method as the Monopoly man. Like, let's not kill him over this.
Yeah. He won't survive.
He did a mustache for Enemy of the People on Broadway. Yeah. I saw it in person. I saw the
Was mustache. It good? Was it a good mustache?
It was a good mustache. There was like a little stubble underneath it. It wasn't like a full Mr. Monopoly. But it made sense for the character. I feel like he did a lot of face sculpting work for the character. I had ideas of like, let this be like The Weeknd playing Drake, basically. Or really, I don't know if anybody here is watching Love Island USA, but Kendall playing Drake, basically, because Kendall from Love Island USA is basically Drake. But I wanted someone who's like in their 30s. So I'm like, give Jack Harlow a couple of years because I know he's taken on some drama parts. Maybe The Weeknd, but I didn't watch that Idol show. I don't know if he's any good. Or just like some white dude.
Some white dude was kind of where I fell too.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like the original conceit of Monopoly is definitely a critique of monopolies and, unrestrained capitalism, and I think that needs to be the core of the film. I think the two main questions I have: first, does it take place in modern times, or are we doing like old-timey 30s Monopoly, like when the board game,
or like a 1980s? Or I can also see this very
like a Gordon Gekko.
Yeah,
that could be fun.
But then the question jumps out of, do we stick with traditional 80s songs, or is it like Charlie XCX covering Bizarre Love Triangle?
I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. The other thing I just want to throw to Peg is like, okay, are we following the rich guy who has all the monopolies? Is like he our main character, or is he like a figure in like a Gatsby type figure, and we're following someone who's like maybe on the ground floor who's like, oh yeah, I gotta be like that guy?
Yeah, see, I can see the Monopoly Man as kind of the villain, as kind of the big boss figure in the story, and maybe his underling is sort of, maybe his underling gets that kind of James Caan and Elf turn, right, where he's like a workaholic, buying all the real estate, but then he has to get to know the little people who, live on Baltic Avenue, right? Yeah. Working with their thimbles, working with their hands.
Yeah. It becomes an anti-gentrification movie.
Exactly. It's anti-gentrification. I don't know. I feel like that's the low-hanging fruit of like how you would script this.
We did say, for the record, in the last episode that Aquafina has to be the thimble. Whatever it winds up meaning, we did say that.
The voice of the thimble.
But let's make it more of maybe like a Nora Aquafina Lum situation. Like she's, like her farewell tip, as opposed to like, bringing a little something to it. If we do, so I want to go back to what Scott said of like, is this a Gatsby as the lead and protagonist, and this really is Kendall's birthday party with side characters, or is this Gatsby where we have Nick observing the fall of Gatsby? I kind of do like our Gatsby or our Monopoly as like not the protagonist, but like the one who everything is falling apart around, and then there being room for either like a usurper or like a narrator who is outside of it, but that person is not like the lead getting the meaty role. Mostly because now that Nicole suggested that there be like a random white dude, and not to give more jobs to random white dudes, but just because like culturally it makes sense to have the white guy being portrayed as this anti-hero, because that feels like it like the text has to like attach itself to whiteness and white supremacy in this capitalist exploration. And I am starting to feel like I want to pitch this to Alden Ehrenreich, because I want to pitch everything to my life, because I love that man.
I was gonna say Paul Rudd, but Alden is very fun.
Yeah, like I was like first in my mind I was like Taron Egerton, because I think he could do it, but then like give Alden Ehrenreich that work, let him kind of play it a little bit like his Oppenheimer character, where he's like a little snarky, a little snippy. But then I think this character does not deserve a happy ending. Like, I don't know if I want to, you know, what day is it? It's Christmas Day.
Right.
Like, I don't know if I want to do all that. Tiny Tim should not die, however. But, you know, I do like it being like a dark end for our Alden Ehrenreich Monopoly.
You know, I think he's a really interesting casting choice if we're going like white guy. Because I feel like in real life, they're going to cast like Glenn Powell. They're going to go with like the most, I don't know, mainstream choice or something.
I mean, Glenn's great. I'm not going to complain about Glenn.
He is great.
I love Glenn. I do. I loved Hitman.
Looks good in a suit.
Oh, he does. He does. He was fabulous. Alden, see, now I'm sort of picturing like, what the fuck, Evan Peters in, what was he in, Pose? Where he's playing the like 80s, you know, like slicked back, like Patrick Bateman type.
But like, how do you see the tokens being involved?
That's such a good question.
In this?
Yeah. Are they characters? Yeah, like are they characters in that they're people and their names are cleverly like blah 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 Barrow, like W Barrow and like T Himble,
Charlie Thimble.
D
yeah, I don't know. I feel
and,
like maybe they get somehow like personified. Like who would use a thimble and who would like, I don't know, use maybe.
Oh, that's Doug. You're right. Okay, so Aquafina as the thimble.
She runs like a fashion company, or
company.
maybe like if it's the iron, there's like a laundromat. It's a kindly old couple that runs like the laundromat.
Yeah, or like literally works in the iron trade, like an iron, you know, an iron man.
But we don't need like.
I mean, I like that so much more. It's like the Pouchy of the movie. If you've seen like Inside Out too. Oh, iron.
I mean, it could also be that at one point our main character gets like really ripped on drugs and these characters turn into grotesque Monopoly pieces for like a blink and you miss it kind of thing. The Fall Guy kind of just did that. Ryan Gosling's character accidentally gets drugged and there's a unicorn that shows up a lot. And like there's a fight sequence that you kind of see from his perspective where he's visualizing it almost and people are getting like, this isn't a huge spoiler because it's worth watching. But as people are getting punched, it sort of looks like neon kind of sparks are flying out of them. Like it turns it into like a video game look. But that could be something where the character enters this like phantasmagoria of people he's talking to turning into grotesque like you're
staring at one of the Monopoly monies and they just like go inside of it.
I like it.
Start hallucinating all of the objects. Amazing. Yeah. The dog is just the dog, right? Like there's just a cute dog. Just a cute Scottish Terrier romping.
Yeah, a little
romping through Manhattan.
Or you have a character that's like a dog walker and they're all that dog.
Oh. Interesting. I mean, I do like this as the characters being, like Nicole was right, these characters being, you know, the thimble person runs like a Shein, because they could all be these evil types. So like we find like the shittiest way to represent that industry, or like in that case, the dog person, it could be that they run like a Petco that has a lot of allegations against it or something. Like, if we're making it dark, if we're
Right.
not making it dark and we're making this funny light, it's just Monopoly to me is so fucking dark.
Yeah.
Maybe this is how Mr. Monopoly thinks of all of them. It's just like a symbol.
Yes. Yeah. Like a pawn on his game board. Yeah. I'm picturing this as like The Menu,
So
like
dark.
that movie. You
Oh,
completely
yeah.
course correct me if it's not The Menu, and you're like, no, I'd prefer this be anything but The Menu. But in
No, I
my
think
head,
it's fun.
like, yeah, Mr. Monopoly is going to get turned into like a human s'more.
Should we start talking about music?
I think we can start talking about
Yeah.
music. I think
Yeah.
I have. So the one song I don't know why it came, like, has nothing to do with money or Monopoly, but I thought an awesome needle drop for this movie during some sort of action sequence or montage would be Harvey Danger's Flagpole Sitta. I feel like it is time for that
Always.
to be a needle drop.
Greatest
Yes.
song of all time. Favorite karaoke song to do. But wait, did we decide what era?
Oh, no, we didn't.
So that kind of informs, do we want it to be 80s?
I feel like it can be sort of like the way Barbie is like all kinds of eras, you know? It like has a lot of the disco and the 80s and then the, you know, Matchbox 20. Like it sort of encompasses everything. I think we can kind of have an ambiguous all-time period vibe here.
Okay. Yeah.
Ambiguous is helpful, I think, for the sake of the
Do
fantasy.
Think of the soundtrack.
Do we want these to be artists covering other songs, or it's just like Harvey Danger doing Flagpole Sitta, or is it like Machine Gun Kelly doing Flagpole
Ooh.
Sitta?
I feel like it's a mix. It's got to be a mix, because any good soundtrack, you've got covers, right, that make, you know, old songs more interesting and updated, and you've got like things that are more contemporary. So like I feel like if you're gonna go like straight to Pink Floyd Money, it better be a cover. It can't just be like Pink Floyd doing Money.
Who
Yeah.
would do that? Would it be like Tame Impala?
That would be interesting.
Is that
Yeah.
too on the nose though?
Maybe 2 on the nose.
Yeah, Scott made like a so I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I don't know who it would be then. Or oh wait, would it be like Lana Del Rey featuring
Oh,
guitarists from Tame Impala?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
like Kesha featuring
The Flaming
Flaming Lips.
Yeah.
Scott, holy shit, look at that.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I think we got to put that one down then if you guys
Yeah,
both
but-
said that.
But which one? The Flaming Lips and Kesha?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that.
So that's 2 songs right there. Flagpole Sitta, original, and Money by Pink Floyd, covered by Kesha and Flaming Lips.
Yeah.
I gotta write this down.
I keep hearing that fucking Jessie J song. The price tag song.
Price Tag, yeah. Remember
like,
that?
but I just want Jessie J to do it, but maybe like a slow haunting piano version. Jessie J seems unproblematic, and I just kind of want to run her coins.
Yeah, what's she up to?
I don't know. I think she had a kid, and she dated Channing Tatum, and then she had a kid.
Right.
Which, nice life if you can get it, really. I would date Channing Tatum and then have a kid. But yeah, maybe like a slow haunting version. Like, I'm going to mention Fall Guy again because I saw it twice in theaters. I truly loved it. They have a big plot. Like, the song of the movie is I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss.
Right.
And then they have, I forget who it is. It's not Modson. I think it's Youngblood or something. It's a guy doing a slow, beautiful, like, anthemic piano version of the song. So maybe Jessie J does Price Tag as,
Youngblood.
yes, maybe Jessie J does a beautiful, like, this is our Gatsby drowning in the pool kind of moment, or Mr. Monopoly hanging himself by roping together his money, I don't know, and like making a rope out of his dollars or hanging himself with the Aquafina Shein fabrics. I don't know, but just something like poignant.
The Aquafina Shein fabrics. It's just a all-timer sentence.
Yeah. Shein probably sells hanging ropes. Like, to be honest, you go on there and there's some questionable stuff on that website.
And they are not sustainable either.
No.
I think the good thing and the bad thing about trying to score the Monopoly movie is that there are just a shit ton of songs about money. So it's kind of like there are so many choices that I feel like would need to be covers, or you need to go with some kind of like interesting collaboration to make them like fun again.
Well, I think you could also go with songs about power. Like I think.
Well, there's a lot of songs about money and a lot of songs about power. So I think you have a lot of choices. You're kind of like spoiled for choice.
Also, we did not discuss that Ryan Gosling probably would act the shit out of Mr. Monopoly, and it would be kind of a difficult for him. But this is my thing. I am only allowing this on the condition that we all let Puh Power by Dead Men's Bones jump in here. Because that's literally a song called Puh Power. And I really need Ryan Gosling to bring that spooky ghoul band back expeditiously. I think about it every day.
So what if, I was almost thinking about this when you were talking about Alden, is like Mr. Monopoly, let's say, is a Ryan Gosling type, and Alden is our main character, who's like the disenchanted assistant, or the he's who we're following, actually. He and his gang of thimbles and dogs and such.
I kind of like that. That's cool. Just because I'm shallow, like, is the Monopoly man hot now?
Yeah.
Well, he was going to be hot if he was Alden Ehrenreich. So
that's true.
He's going to be hot either way. Are the thimbles and such then Alden Ehrenreich's like peers or nemesis?
Oh, right. I guess nemesis, right?
Well, I think at first he sees them as nemesis. These are the people that they need to evict out for Mr. Monopoly to take over everything.
Right.
But then he ends up representing them.
Maybe there's a little love story. Maybe he falls in love with Aquafina's thimble,
Well, that's the thing. If all of these pieces were, in theory, if all of these pieces were part of the same company, like if the end of the movie has them all unite, then don't they become a monopoly because they are joining, like they're creating this vertical that kind of puts everything else out of business? Wouldn't the power move be kind of splitting them and splitting the monopoly? So then they have to come together to like disembark from Ryan Gosling's monopoly corporate structure.
I mean, I think it's a movie about landlords, personally. Like, I just want to see the landlords go down, right? Like, when I play Monopoly and I have to pay like that rent because there's hotels and there's, houses on there, and I'm like $300 out because you bought Park Place. It's not cool. Down with landlords.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking it was more like an Empire Records thing where it's like Mr. Monopoly wants to replace them with like more corporate versions of whatever.
Oh, okay.
And like these are all like mom and pop owners.
I think he wants to foreclose on them, right? He wants to foreclose on the mom and pop shops with their little iron.
So he can build more apartments and more hotels and
exactly.
So these characters are not like aspirational as much as like they're, like maybe Aquafina's the first one in her family to go to college, and like she started her own small business. Ryan, I definitely agree with you on that. So Alden Ehrenreich then is coming in and like sweeping in these companies and like girding them against Ryan Gosling, trying to create a monopoly by putting all of these things into his company, like another Amazon.
Can I just say, we should be like movie executives, right? We're good at this.
Yeah, actually, we are doing some fucking good work here, I think.
Doing good work. This is, imagine if we had cocaine.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't?
Wait a minute, hold on. This tissue session is just, doing some really strong work.
I am the world's most soberest person alive, and I feel like if I was given cocaine, everyone would quake in fear. Like, my energy at this point. Imagine adding cocaine to that.
Well, you and I, like, I think we have maybe similar vibes where it's like nobody needs more. I'm good enough. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's like I will dance on top of the bar sober. I don't need cocaine, but definitely people in the movie will have cocaine.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This is R-rated, right? We can do whatever we want.
I feel like every movie is better if it's R-rated. So yeah, fuck
At
it,
least
let's
give
go.
it the room
Let's
to
What person under
expand.
13 is gonna be like, oh yeah, I want to watch a movie about Monopoly?
Monopoly.
Yeah,
movie.
let's go R-rated Monopoly. It's for us anyway.
Yeah. Do we learn Mr. Monopoly's name, and is it Benjamin? And then do we have to have like a new rap version of all about Benjamins?
Benjamin, that's so good. That's so
yes
good.
on the first, no on the second, because I don't want to give Puff Daddy any royalties.
Oh,
I didn't even think about that.
But it would have been so good. That's so good.
Yeah, I don't know what rapper we would put in there. I don't want to put Ice Spice in because that was in Barbie already. I don't want to put Nicki in for the same reason. We'd have to find somebody, but damn it.
Well, you know, in the last episode, we talked about how the different colored towns on the Monopoly board can have some different musical genres, and if an element of this movie becomes a road movie at some point, you know, and maybe we get Holiday Road, Lindsey Buckingham, or maybe that's
covered
too on the nose,
Hoops.
but covered by, I don't know.
The Walkmen do a really good cover of it.
Sure.
Ooh, yeah, I'll
some
drop it in there.
Lighthouser.
Love it.
Drop it in there. That's fun. So, Scott, what are some of your ideas for these different like colored towns and sounds that they have?
Yeah, I guess like it depends on how we wanted to do it. Like, okay, so Alden he meets up with the Thimble Lady and a few others. They decide to band together because Mr. Monopoly is buying up everything. And then they decide like, oh, you know, this isn't just happening in our neighborhood. It's happening all over the city. So then they got to go and they got to, you know, so it could be like a short section, a sort of montage, second act section or whatever. But so if it's going to be short, like it could be cliche, you know, we go to the Motown section of the town. We go to like the, you know, Berlin like techno club section of town. We, you know, I don't know.
All right.
All the classic genres.
All the classic genres.
I like the idea that like when I play Monopoly, I really like buying the railroads. It's like my favorite thing. I really obsessed with buying all the railroads.
So
Can it just be like train music? It's just like Johnny Cash. It's just like train music.
It's just the Asteroid City soundtrack.
No, it's Train. It's the band Train. It's just Hey Soul Sister.
Or, I mean, my brain is stuck in this fucking white party setup that we had. So my first instinct, Nicole, when you said that, was the Space Jam song, you know, come on, ride the train.
DJ.
And, like, figuring out who would cover this in a modern way. Like, is Robin doing a really good cover of Come On Train? Like Carly Rae, I would love to have Carly Rae Jepsen in here. Maybe this is the Carly Rae Robin collaboration that I've dreamed of my entire adult life.
I am ecstatic about that idea. Ecstatic about it. I need it. I crave it.
Wow.
Print it, ship it, put it in.
Yeah, so
good.
Maybe that's just the chance for me to have this. It feels hypocritical to have Taylor Swift in this movie. Although
the ultimate capitalist.
Yeah, like it feels hypocritical, so I'm like trying to think of other like pop girlies to drop in. Give Carly some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott is never gonna veto a Carly inclusion.
Oh no,
my ass is never gonna veto a Carly inclusion.
Yeah. I support it.
Yes. Anybody else have any ideas for like other towns or kind of industries to jump into here?
Well, I'm curious what we would do with like the Waterworks Electric Company duo.
Something beachy or like is that? I swear, again, my brain is demented because I just in my head heard like Lana Del Rey doing like boardwalk music.
Oh, I'm down with that.
No, what about
I think it's just you open it, it's just the village people, like the YMCA, like steelwork scene from The Simpsons, you know?
I mean,
whenever I think of boardwalks in summertime, I'm thinking LFO. I don't know about you guys.
Aren't they literally every single one dead though?
2 of 3 LFO members are dead, and I think a third member who left the band before Summer Girls is also dead. So
I think it's a little, even for my fucked up like Wolf of Wall Street version of this movie, I think it's a little dark to have the one living LFO.
Oh, we should do that "Steal My Sunshine" song by Len. Remember that?
Yes. Much better.
Yes.
Much better.
Yes. Do we have a modern person you'd like to cover that, or do you want to leave it original?
No, it could be the original, but we get a Chet Hanks rap verse on it, maybe.
White Boy Summer.
White Boy Summer. Steal my sunshine.
Oh my fucking god.
Disgusting.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm so afraid.
My problematic trait is that when Chet Hanks says White Boy Summer is meant to be inclusive, I know what he means, and I agree.
No.
I see his vision, you know.
I'm so scared. Oh my god, I'm so scared.
Anyway.
Yeah, wow. Okay. Ryan, do you have any ideas for neighborhoods except the Waterworks one? I can't even one of us should have pulled up like Monopoly
The board,
zones. Yeah. Let's see. Monopoly game zones.
Yeah, so obviously, like, Monopoly Guy's living on, like, the Park Place side, right? He's Park Place, he's Boardwalk, he's the Upper East Side, like, he's got that on lock. So I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Then you've got all the railroads, then you've got the utilities.
I'm looking at, like, just a Google one. So we had railroads, the electric company, cable company.
Cable company.
Yeah, community chest is something that has to probably be acknowledged, and then there's got to be some kind of jail moment.
Right.
That's a big. Like, we got to think of like a jail song, or is that where we drop in the Johnny Cash?
Maybe.
Yeah, and then they got to break someone out of jail, and
yeah, I think that's an original Johnny Cash needle drop. No cover. Like, I think if we're doing a couple of these that are like the Harvey Danger, like, we got to have just Johnny Cash there.
Yeah.
I don't know how to incorporate the community chest into this. Is that like a literal woman with a big chest?
No.
Is that like Sydney Sweeney rolling up to play?
Oh no.
Like, is that Barbie Ferreira? Like, who is that? Like a curvaceous woman? Like, what is the community chest here? Is that it has to be
like a village bicycle. She's the community chest.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but like no, like, but she's like a beautiful bimbette communist or something. Like, it's like it's about the community.
Right.
She's like a communist activist. Or she's like an antitrust, or no, not antitrust, but she's like an anti-monopoly legislator.
Right.
I don't know. We have to find a way to honor the community trust. The jail. Let's see. I'm looking at
what's the other one? There's community chest, and then there's chance, right? But they're kind of interchangeable.
Yes. There's also again, I literally Googled a big Monopoly board. There's the sewage system. There's the luxury tax. There's a birthday gift. There's jail, obviously. There's a taxi company. There's a gas company.
It's kind of like all the things that you would. Let me just say that my personal fantasy is that Tennessee Avenue has the song Tennessee by Silver Jews attached to it somehow. That, like, that's the intro to Tennessee Avenue.
I have no objection to you having this.
It's like it's all I want.
I have no objection to you having this. This is fine.
How about free
You're the only 10 I see. Come on. You could meet her. It could be the meet cute.
Let's see. Oh, wait, here. Let me look at. Oh, this is strange. There's a Monopoly now that one of the pawns is a duck. This has like the typical dog. There's a car. There's a penguin. Oh,
a penguin?
Who's the top hat? What's his story?
Is he related to Community Chest in some way?
Is he related to Ben Monopoly?
I like it's Ben. It was Benjamin, but now it's the familiar.
Benjamin Monopoly.
So Ben Monopoly.
Is Top Hat's got to be like Cola Scola, right?
I would love that.
Like Julio Torres, like someone who's playing like a kind of queer, gender fluid, and the Top
I love that.
Is more about being like formal than being like an uber capitalist. It's just like, no, I'm like a non-binary person who wears a top hat.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I encounter that a lot in New York.
Yeah,
and I feel like Scott does too.
I like how you saw Top Hat and you were like
that.
non-binary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I speak gay.
I know that's really funny to me. It's like I love how this non-binary. Are you non-binary? You're probably wearing some kind of top hat.
Well, Nicole, you reference like if there's a romance plot line, does Alden Ehrenreich, like our hero, end up with the thimble, or what is?
I'm just saying, there's got to be like some, comely shopkeep, right? She's not the community chest, but she's like this,
right.
There's he meets her and she hates him at first, but then they grow to love each other,
Right.
There's a ship, there's a shoe, there's the wheel barrel.
Right.
There's the iron, there's a car. In some of these, there's someone riding a horse. Because obviously, like, different games have created different tokens. Some of them, there's a cat, which is interesting.
Yeah, the
cat is new. The cat was a big deal because I think people were like, we want representation, and then they added a fucking cat. But I mean, I see, there's like a laundromat, and there's a mechanic, and there's, a Sheehan.
What is this one with it's a wheel and like it looks like a rifle poking out? Is that like a cannon?
Oh, the cannon, yeah.
Oh, it's a cannon.
It's a cannon? Okay, that person's last name is obviously going to be Cannon. Is that Nick Cannon?
Nick
in like a dramatic role. And he's like, yo, man, I just got to feed my 14 and a half children.
Yeah. And these are all just short, like they don't all have to be big characters.
No,
it's like
Nick
Barbie.
Nick Cannon is busy trying to schedule time to see his children and create more of them. He's busy.
100%. I think this is the movie, like you said, it's like there's some main characters, but then there's a lot of sight gags. There's a lot of like, hidden jokes. Like there are things that are a lot of fan service in the Monopoly movie.
Yeah.
What kind of other staples of movies do we need to create songs to? Because we definitely did that last time where we created like a chase song, the slow motion, like things are, going down for our hero and they have to fight against it, and like a sexy song. Like what like tenets of this movie do we have to score?
Right.
What is the song that kind of brings us into the movie as we enter this white party?
Ooh, I mean, that could be the cover of Money.
I was gonna say, I think you open as strong as you can with "We Are Now in Monopoly." So you open with that super strong Money cover, right?
Yeah.
I just saw Despicable Me 2. That Pharrell song's doing a lot of work in the first few minutes of that movie. Or 4. What is it?
Okay.
It's 4. The song that some people think is a diss track and other people think it's not about Drake and it's just about Gru.
I'm pretty sure it's just about. I don't think it's that deep. But anyway, I think you're right. I think that's how you get people, into it. And again, there are a lot of songs about money. There are a lot of songs about capitalism. You could do a material world cover.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, Nicole, is there someone more modern that you would like to do that, or like do a new remix of it? Like you could have wait, did you say Material Girl?
Yeah, material. Yes, that's what I meant.
You were thinking. So like Madonna now with someone else. Like who would Madonna collaborate with now on that and make it interesting and fresh?
Ooh, such a good question.
It's got to be like someone really like young and weird, like
Willow. What about Willow?
Oh, yes. That's cool.
Different. And I think that would actually be really interesting.
That could be cool.
Yeah. Like Madonna and Willow, I think would be really different, and that it kind of like makes sense to me in a way.
Yeah.
You know,
Feels
Yeah, go for it.
balanced. Feels correct.
yeah.
Yeah, it feels better than like a Sabrina Carpenter collaboration or something like that.
Yeah, we don't need.
No, I don't. I don't think I want to go too poppy with this. Like Sims, we were able to go really poppy. This, like, yeah, we could have Carly Rae and the like, but that's like for one of the fun towns or so, like that. Or that. Well, that was the railroad part, and maybe
Yeah.
the railroad part is like. Maybe the railroad part isn't even about trains, and it's just a railroad apartment somewhere that one of the characters lives in, and we just keep going through the rooms of the apartment, and it's like a party that's happening in the railroad apartment. But that's the person that wants to like revitalize public transportation, and they're very eco-friendly.
Yeah.
And they're like, I really want to
Love it.
disrupt the train industry and make something that's really eco-friendly and sustainable.
Yeah,
And
high
they're
speed
like,
rail.
and there's just like a Bernie poster on the wall, and like that's the yeah. What other do we need? Like a sexy or like a slow motion kiss song that could be about power or could just be about smooching.
I think we could use a ballad in here somewhere. They're gonna hit him with a ballad.
Yeah.
Do we get Diane Warren involved in this? Do we get
Well-
Diane line?
We call her up again.
I mean, Diane wants that fucking Oscar.
That's true.
Imagine if she gets it for the Monopoly movie.
Could you fucking imagine?
Well,
Well,
would it
we-
be worse than Flaming Hot?
Yeah,
Flamin'
we were
Hot would've been
prepared to
the
give it to
best-
her for The Sims. So
Flamin' Hot would have been the best possible way to get her that Oscar. That would have been the funniest shit of all time. Okay, so for this ballad, do we want it to be like a Charlie Puth? Like, do we want it to have a pop sensibility? Do we want it to be like a Moses Sumney, like something that's a
Ooh.
little, or like a Solange, like something that's kind of maybe has a different texture to it? Because
I
that
like
could
how
be.
smoky the Monopoly movie just got. I like how it just took
Well,
a very sensual turn.
In my head, I'm still in like Succession mode, so I'm like, I could picture like a Moses Sumney song in the background, like something kind of different. Maybe Moses Sumney has a little part in the movie because he's in Maxine.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet,
Would
but
not know that. That is
Yeah.
I'm
cool.
going tonight.
I like the idea of something with a little bit of a different texture, and I think we saved the Diane Warren for another time because we went so big with Diane Warren for The Sims. Like, I don't know how we can top that,
We're stretching her too thin.
and we only want her to win.
Yes,
That's true.
This movie feels more indie textured. Like you've got your Johnny Cash needle drop, you've got Flaming Lips. I still feel like Tame Impala is gonna wind up here somewhere, even like in a little clip somewhere, because that's like good situational background music during this big white party intro. Like if we just need two characters talking on the side or something, just have them play like Elephant in the
Could we
background.
do like an Olivia Rodrigo ballad?
I kind of want to see her collab with somebody though, if we're doing it. Like another one of these like rock and pop collaborations like the Kesha.
Right.
So who's interesting for her to meet up with?
A guy or another girl?
I'm open. I just want it to be something like something different. Like I like pairing it with these rock bands.
Right.
I'm trying to think who like the big like rock bands popping off are, which is difficult when I've had the radio on recently and Shinedown has a new like top 40 hit called like The Symptom of Being Human or something, and I'm like,
Huh.
is this fucking Shinedown on Z100? And Z100 is our like that's
That's
who
the pop,
does
yeah.
Jingle Ball. That's who has like Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter and like the big artists do Jingle Ball every year. So Shinedown being on there is really something.
Interesting. What if it's like a Zach Bryan?
Oh, okay. Didn't he just I feel like he just collabed with somebody who was like really unexpected. I think he does that a lot.
Yeah, his new album that just came out has like a bunch of collaborations.
Yeah. I think he did one with the Foo Fighters, which Dave Grohl and Olivia Rodrigo would be
Whoa.
In my head, I was thinking that, and then I'm like, no, maybe it's wrong. But now that you said it,
No, maybe it's right.
maybe there's a Foo Fighters angle
If Dave
here.
Grohl was gonna do it, though, I feel like he would want to put his daughter in because he's been doing a lot of musical performance with his daughter, and she's got a cool voice. Yeah,
But his daughter also just recently got bullied by the Swifties, so he may.
Wait, Dave Grohl's daughter got bullied by the Swifties?
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
That's a fucking like Who Weekly.
Yeah.
Mad Lib.
Yeah,
that's
Mad Libs,
crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't know
apparently
that.
she said that like Taylor should stop flying on jets so much, and the Swiftie army came after her, and then Dave Grohl made the bad dad joke about how the Foo Fighters are on the Errors tour because we actually make mistakes when we play in our instruments, and then that became a thing.
Oh, Dave. Wait, what about Billie Eilish somewhere? Like that's Billie Eilish and Tame Impala, or like Billie Eilish and like Cage the Elephant, like something that's kind of.
I'd like to go for a little bit more obscure if we're gonna go. I would like Billie Eilish with maybe like Angel Olsen.
Ooh.
Because there was that Sharon Van Etten Angel Olsen song from a few years ago. Like I used to.
Okay.
I want like a big ballad like that.
Okay.
Sure.
You want a big ballad? Okay. I thought like the ballad's easy because it's kind of interchangeable. Like it's just like the
you want something stand out. Something that makes sense for this, although I'm like a little bummed out by her. Saint Vincent to me makes a lot of sense for this movie, but she recently took a picture with Johnny Depp, and I'm like,
oh,
girl,
look, what can you do?
Girl, like you could not be in the picture. It's literally her and John Depp. It's not like, oh, we're in a group. It's like Sheena had to be in that photo with Sandoval that one time last year, and everyone's like, she's on his side. No, like she was literally, it's like me and John Christopher Depp in this photo together. And I was like, Saint Vincent. But she, even as like a guitar feature on a track, would make a lot of sense for how I perceive this movie.
Yeah.
Even if it's like her and Charlie Puth, it's something.
That is an interesting pairing.
I'm really just trying to come up with these like collaboration pairs here. Maybe it's me trying to summon the theme of like United We Stand and coming up with covers. But
well, Ryan,
we should just turn this into a Judgment Night thing. Just everything is a collaboration.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting.
Sorry,
Scott, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I'm just asking, like, what do we have so far?
Oh.
Well, I don't know if we have everything locked in, but I'll tell you what we have so far. We've got the Harvey Danger's Flagpole Sitta, Kesha and the Flaming Lips covering Money by Pink Floyd.
For sure locked in.
Jessie J Price Tag with Youngblood. Is that what we decided?
Or just a slow piano kind of version of it, like something kind of orchestral.
So Jessie J Price Tag, but like a different version.
Yeah.
Dead Man's Bones, Power.
God, yes.
Len, Steal My Sunshine with Chet Hanks.
Hell yeah.
Exceptional.
Johnny Cash, one of his prison songs.
Yes.
Madonna, Material Girl with Willow.
God, I really want that now.
I like it more now that we're going back through it. Can I be real?
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
This is good.
We got Silver Jews, Tennessee.
Yes.
Right.
Holiday Road by the Walkmen.
Okay, great.
Well, not the Quad City DJs, but the Quad City DJs cover of The Train by Carly Rae Jepsen and Robin.
So
fucking give it to me now.
Amazing.
Just.
I guess we're still deciding between Moses Sumney and Solange and Billie Eilish and Angel Olsen as far as doing some sort of ballad for the movie.
And are we talking about like an original ballad? Like we're writing something for this movie?
I
mean,
so.
we deserve a chance to put in an Oscar contention for best
I think
original
so.
song.
Get all of them. Why not? Billy and Moses Sumney and whoever.
Like a random
else.
We Are the World vibe.
Yeah. And they write a song called like Monopoly Don't or something. I don't know.
Monopoly.
Monopoly. Yes, there it is. There it is.
No.
Wait, or monopolize, like LIES, like
Yes.
very like MySpace profile vibes, like realize.
Yes.
Lies.
Uh,
I think that's great.
Are there any good other, like, even if they're not in the movie and they're just what we put over the credits, are there any other good money or power songs that we haven't tapped into?
Well, yeah, I think for like the ending, like we won, we took down evil Mr. Ryan Gosling Moneybags. We need a sort of like, I don't know, Sly and the Family Stone, or like some sort of like, we did it, we overcame, like, but in a fun, funky way.
I mean, there's We Are the Champions, which could be a cover.
Yeah, but it's
And there's another one, Bites the Dust. This feels like a Queen kind of moment. Like there's like I Want to Break Free.
Yeah.
Like it seems like there's something where we could do like a really interesting Queen cover. And that weirdly also in my head, I really want Kesha and the Flaming Lips to do a Queen cover. Like I Want to Break Free or like fucking Radio Gaga. Like give that shit to me.
So
I
they
mean,
could
imagine Kesha and the
bookend.
Flaming Lips just do this whole thing.
Yeah.
Wait,
top
maybe.
to bottom.
Well, wait, Miley and the Flaming Lips worked together before. Maybe Miley comes and does a little something. Because that girl can fucking sing any cover. Give her any cover and she's got it.
That's true. Yeah, like a Don't Stop Me Now, you know, like another one, Bites the Dust. There's a good Queen moment in here for sure. Gotta give the people what they want.
But just so we have the historical record correct, I double checked this. Kesha and the Flaming Lips have worked together in the past. They were planning on releasing an entire album called Lipsha that ended up going unreleased.
I think Dr.
But they
blocked it.
were working on it in 2012 and 2013, and it ended up, at least based on what I'm seeing, it ended up not getting released because of Dr. Luke and Kimosabe not allowing it to be released.
Yeah. No Katy Perry and no Dr. Luke acolytes attached to this movie. Thank you ever so much.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I think a lot of what they were working on ended up becoming that Miley and the Flaming Lips album, or...
Oh, really?
I think that's how that came up, is like that the Kesha one got blocked, so then they decided to work with Miley.
I want to look up like a music festival this year and see like just who's on it, like who's doing, like who did Coachella, just to see the vibes.
Lana.
Let's see, Mannequin Pussy, which I feel like doesn't make sense for this movie necessarily.
Post Malone, have we had any Post Malone?
I don't think we did Post Malone, but I'm open to throwing. I really thought he was totally a different kind of musician than he was, and someone played one of his songs for me. I was like, oh, I really like this song, and like I like that feature he does on the Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with him. Janelle Monáe seems like she would make sense for this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, in a top hat, because she's got that whole
yes.
Janelle,
Here's the non-binary top
vibe, right?
Janelle is non-binary. That does make sense.
Yes.
I'd be open to Janelle being in here somewhere doing something. And Janelle in a collaboration with almost any of the people that we've come up with would also be really fucking rad.
She could cover like, Queen.
Oh, yeah.
I think, Janelle would do something, again, really interesting and like dancey and kind of like electro beat. And like, I would 1000% be open to that. I think if we were to do the Johnny Cash, if this was all covers and we were to do the like putting someone in digitally, Johnny Cash and Ethel Cain. I just love Ethel Cain. I just fucking love Ethel Cain. So I'd be like, yes, please. Seeing who else is on. I'm looking at the Coachella lineup for 2024 to see if we're just missing anybody who's like exciting.
I love the Janelle Monáe poll though, because she's a great actress too. Actually,
I don't know if Coachella 2024 is a good guide for what's exciting.
Yeah, Coachella 2024.
Was it bad?
I don't know. I don't know that it got. I don't don't know that it was as beloved as some of the previous Coachellas have been.
I saw a lot of
Okay.
commercials on TV for it, and Coachella usually doesn't need commercials.
I was gonna say, I can't imagine. What does a Coachella commercial look like?
It was bad. It was just like a lot of like photos of previous like Coachellas, like people walking around like the grounds and like them playing like that not MGMT, that Justice song from like 2010.
Oh yeah, because Justice is on here. Tyler, the Creator, no doubt. I mean, then you've got like Military Gun and some cool artists like that. Yeah, I'm not seeing much here that honestly inspires me. I thought I might see something where I was like, oh, that's exciting. Um,
I feel like
yeah.
I mean, other than getting a sort of ending song, I feel like we're sort of there,
I
right?
actually feel very strongly about Janelle Monáe as like the person to write the Monopoly titled like credits track.
I 100% am on board. Janelle Monáe final like ending track into the credits. Everyone's partying. We're all dancing.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm
I wanna
into
be
it.
there.
Capitalism defeated. Gender is over.
Yeah, gender is over if you want it.
We're in
Yeah.
a post-gender, post-capitalism utopia.
Yeah. I mean, I'm open to this. I actually really like this soundtrack. I think this is very cool.
I think we did it.
think
I actually
we
like the
did.
movie as well.
Yeah.
I would watch this
I would
movie.
see
I'd buy
this
the
movie.
soundtrack.
Yeah, we didn't shape this out as much plot-wise as we did with Sims, but I mean, The Bike Riders is doing okay in theaters, and that has no fucking plot, so that's fine. I did like parts of The Bike Riders. It just does not have much in the way of plot.
Is
But
all
what it doesn't
vibes?
have in plot, it makes up for in accent work. You know.
Oh, Jodie Comer does a great job. Now, her and Austin Butler, in my opinion, have no chemistry, but her accent work is perfect.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we just successfully soundtracked another movie.
Yeah.
I think so too. And we didn't use any previous artists, I don't believe, and I don't think
Wow.
and even with our casting, we didn't rely on any familiar faces from the Sims movie.
Nice.
Damn.
Congrats, guys.
Yeah.
We did it.
Awesome.
Well, that was
Mission
fun.
accomplished.
Yeah, mission accomplished. I will make playlists as best as I can for this movie, as I did with The Sims.
It's a lot of covers, so
Well, they'll just have to be the originals, just so people can
Yeah.
get the idea.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, listeners, I hope you liked our Monopoly movie as much as our Sims movie. I mean, I think they're both great.
Yeah. I want to see it.
I'm there on opening day.
I'm seated. I'm already seated.
And, you can find our contact info for any producers out there who want to hear our pitches, because I think we've got some pretty good ones. So, Tara, where can people find your Substack?
Sure. It is called XOXO Gossip Giancaspro, and it's taragiancaspro.substack.com. For those of you who don't know what Substack is, it's a blogging platform where each new post gets sent directly to your inbox. You can literally go on mine, subscribe for free, and each week my new post will go to your inbox. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sweaty Lamar.
That'll all be in our show notes. And Scott, where can people find your podcast?
Yeah, you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts at This Is the Greatest Song I've Ever Heard in My Entire Life. Or on social media, it's Great Song Pod, which is GR8 Song Pod on, Twitter or Instagram or whatever. And I'm excited to see what people think about Monopoly. So
Yeah,
come let us know.
Yeah, we would love to hear your thoughts about our soundtracks. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter at SoundtrackCast. You can join our Patreon at patreon.com/soundtrackyourlife. We just dropped a new episode for our Patreon subscribers where we talk about haters and we try to explain the Drake Kendrick Lamar feud, which is somehow still going.
Still going.
Better than ever, even with that video.
That video is
Never
amazing.
been more.
Well, thanks, Tara and Scott. And whenever we have another movie to soundtrack, I'll let you know.
Yeah, thanks so much.